welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited to do this video. I think it's going to be some fun, lighthearted, just straight up, talking some smack. My friend DW over at Dub's Beauty Diary, I will tag her video below, but my friend DW filmed this video, I don't know, it's like a week or two ago, and it just had me cackling. Like, I literally was laughing so hard because she talked about a lot of things that have also driven me crazy for years. So it was very relatable, and I really wanted to join in on this tag. I will mention some similar topics to hers, but then also some topics that she did not touch on. So I still encourage you to go watch DW's video because it was really funny. Also, let me know in the comments some of your creator icks, like what drives you nuts that creators do. I'm so curious. I want to laugh about it / rant about it together. This might be a little bit of a longer video. I actually scripted things out a little bit, so I want to make sure to hit on all of my points. I would grab yourself a snack or a drink. I'm enjoying a latte. And yeah, if you're new here, hey, my name is Megan. If you like this video, if you like Shop My Stash, Project Pan, be sure to subscribe. And then before we get started, make sure that you go down and just hit that like button right now so that you don't forget at the end. It really does help my channel. And yeah, let's just start roasting. So the first one I wanted to chat about, which is one that DW also touched on, is when creators get PR from a brand and they will showcase it 1 to 2 times and rave about how incredible it is, but then we will either never see it again, or the next time we see it, it is in a declutter. So it's like, you say this is so good and you're so obsessed with it, but we never see you touch it, talk about it, or anything else other than when it launched. And the example that DW gave had me fucking howling because I didn't even register how true this was or that I noticed it until she mentioned it. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. And the example she gave was Nomad Cosmetics. And that just had me dying laughing because I feel like they are the poster child for creators that will create 1 to 2 looks with them every time they have a new launch. And then you never, ever see that palette again until they're decluttering it 6 months to a year later because it's beautiful, but I just don't use it. And, there's nothing wrong with decluttering items for that reason. That's not what I'm trying to hit on. What I'm hitting on is that, Nomad Cosmetics is just one of those brands that creators always do that with. So whenever, I see a Nomad Cosmetics content, I just swipe through it because I know from being in the community that no one, at least that I follow, really even uses those palettes other than when they are sent to them initially in PR for the launch. So, and they all post at the same time also. It's very overwhelming, to be honest. When a Nomad product is launching because you see it everywhere for 2 to 3 days, and then you never hear about it again from literally anybody. Okay, a second creator ick is creators that are constantly posting new makeup, and that's quite literally it. I have done this since, I don't know, it's been about 3 years ago when me and Steph started Pan Over Purchase, but I have just unfollowed and muted so many accounts that all they do is buy new stuff, show new stuff. You see it for them to show you, hey, I got this, it's new, or hey, these are my thoughts, it's new, and then that's it. And it's a revolving door of what is new and what is next. And it's just, for me, so toxic to see that all the time. But also it just gives me the ick because it's like, oh my gosh, you have to have mounds and mounds of makeup lying around because there's no way you can use it all. I mean, I have a lot of makeup and there's no way I can use it all. but I'm not posting every single day or every other day about my makeup haul or my new makeup product or whatever. Like I'm talking about the influencers that have something new every day, every other day. It is just non-stop and it just gives me the ick because it's like, what are you doing, man? Like you can't use all of that. A good example of a creator that gets like also, constantly posting all of that new makeup and whatnot, and it's actually why I don't follow her anymore, is Morgan Turner's channel. She is like, from what I've seen on the internet, like at least on YouTube, the prime example of like just what's the word? A nauseating level of wastefulness because she's constantly reviewing like every new launch and it'll be like, "Oh, it's my job." But it's like, at what point does it cross hoarding because you're buying a lot of new launches and you get a lot of launches in PR, and it's just like no real life person could actually, that's not like wealthy or getting a bunch of stuff in PR, could realistically go out and just like purchase all this stuff at the rate that she does. Like it is insane to me. And she was doing like I don't know, some kind of tour, and the amount of like skincare and stuff she had was just disgusting because it's like there's no way you can use it, so why not get it out of your collection, pass it on, donate it? It's just straight like hoarding it, just keeping it, hoarding it. It is literally insane to me. And I know some people probably think I'm hoarding, and I have like a quite literal fraction of her collection. And like I do have a lot of stuff. I have too much stuff. But her channel is the first one that comes to mind when we're talking about like constantly posting new makeup, and that's literally it. She's always on that train, and it's just so, I don't know. I'm tired of being sold to 24/7. It's exhausting. To piggyback off of that, it gives me the ick because they're constantly trying new things, which means that they don't actually have the time to get to know the products that they're testing. I it drives me insane when people are go, "Oh, this is my review, this is my review," and the only time they tried it was on the camera that one time with us. Like it I'm just like, review. That's more like a first impressions. So that gives me the ick because it's just like you have such a revolving door of products constantly coming into your collection, and then you're giving us all of these videos of here's my review on this, here's my review on this, but you've only used it one time. Like, no, I want to know what it's like after you've not only just applied it, but after you've worn it all day. Like, I feel like so much content right now is like, oh, this is what it looks like initially. Well, I'm not a full-time content creator, so I don't put my makeup on and then wash it off and do other things. I put my makeup on and I have to get through a 10-hour day at work. So I need to know that it's going to look good that whole time and not just for like the 3 second video, 3 second, 3 minute video that I filmed. So that is just so gross to me because so many creators are like, I love this, I love that, like da 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 da, or I'm obsessed with. That's the other thing I cannot stand. TikTok has literally ruined the word obsessed with me because I swear every few videos is some kind of an ad. And in the ads, I was like, oh, I'm so obsessed with this, or I'm obsessed with this, I'm obsessed with that. Okay, well, you're literally obsessed with everything in your collection, which, good for you. But I need you to hone it down a little because, like, one, there's no way you can be obsessed with every single thing you try. If people say that, I'm just like, absolutely not, already don't trust you. Um, but also, it just makes it seem so overhyped and over the top, and they're trying to bring that energy like, oh my God, buy now, buy now, buy now. Like that impulsive thought process. And so yeah, I just can't even stand like obsessed. Like I know I use it sometimes, but that's for stuff that's like been holy grail or in my collection a long time. I'm talking about the I just tried it one time and I'm so obsessed with it. Like that drives me insane. And to continue to piggyback off of that, I guess, another thing that drives me absolutely shabonkers is when you have a content creator, and I don't know, maybe I should be calling this like influencer icks because I guess it's from a lot of bigger influencers that I see this. But what drives me insane is like when they're doing a roundup of like favorites or best of or whatever, they have the audacity to come on and show you a product and they say, let me grab one like this, for instance. They say, oh my gosh, this is my favorite Holy Grail perfume. I am so obsessed with it. I've literally been using it all year. You have to try it. I've used it all year long. I can't stop using it or putting it down. And do you see what I'm seeing? That like they've literally barely used it because it's almost full to the top. Like this is a newer fragrance to me and I've used it like a handful of times. So when I see a creator being like, I've used it all year, it's been my favorite all year, and I haven't been able to put it down, when they so clearly were able to put it down because there's not even a dent in that product. They hold up a fragrance like that or a bronzer or a blush that looks like they've maybe used it. That's my favorite, when it looks completely untouched. And it's like, how stupid do you think we are? So that just drives me absolutely insane. Like the amount of recommending and you have to run, go get it now, when they've barely even used it, and they will likely not use it after they've tried to sell you during that video clip. Like I cannot stand that. The next one that drives me nuts. People that say they're on a low or a no buy, but then continue to purchase tons of makeup. And I want to elaborate on this a little bit because I know low buys and no buys are extremely difficult. I was essentially on a low buy for 3 years and it was hard. Last year, definitely like, I was like, I'm not on a low buy anymore. I'm going to try to be mindful. But like, I had burst through the purse seams. And I guess like what drives me nuts about that is when people say they're on a low or no buy and they, slip up, like that's fine. That happens to all of us. But it's when they continue to just snowball and don't address that they're spending lots of money and still continue to tell us they're on a no buy when they're actively purchasing makeup. It's like, I know that one like shouldn't matter, but that's just like an ick for me because it's like, why are you lying about something that we so openly can see you doing? Like, we know you're not on a no buy because you're buying something and showing us continually. And it's just like, if you're going to do that, that's fine. Be like, hey, I tried a no buy. It didn't work out. It wasn't successful. And I'm going to just try to be mindful, or like, like altering it to what works for you instead of just going forward like, I'm on a no buy, even though you're clearly not on a no buy. But that one is just something that always like drives me insane. I'm like, you said you're on a no buy, but you're posting more new makeup than the majority of like my feed. So I have to mute you because you're one of those pages that is showing me something new every single day. And it's kind of like, and then I feel left out or whatever. And I want to shop for it. I want to look for it. Cause I love makeup. I'm very interested. But that one always just drives me nuts. Like, it's okay to like fail at a low buy or a no buy, but like, it's when it's just like, we're going to blow past it and keep spending money and say that we're doing this when we're not. Like, it kind of just drives me nuts. This one that DW mentioned, it was pretty funny. She said that, creators that complain about engagement, but they don't engage. And I would also include this on my list. It is so funny to me. Well, not even funny, it's just annoying, really, when a creator is like, oh, engagement is low. No one's engaging with my stuff. It's affecting this or that. It really sucks. If you could engage on my post, I would really appreciate it. Though, like, especially those, when people put those up in their stories or whatever, and they say that, that's all fine and good. But what drives me nuts is that when I'm like, okay, this is an important post to them, I'm going to take my time, go over to their feed, engage on their post, like it, save it, comment, maybe even share it, and then they don't engage back. And I feel like that drives me insane. You want me to engage on your post, but you can't engage with me on your post? That to me is just so icky. Like, you want me to engage with you, but you're too good to engage with me, whether that be on your own content or my own content. That is just so gross. And I don't know. I've always been someone who has hated that, and I've always prided myself on responding to every single comment. Sometimes I just like the comments, but for the most part, I respond to every single comment on IG, on YouTube, and I pride myself on it. And when my IG was having all of those issues and saying it was like removing all of my comments for like, God, how long did that? It got cleared up in no, it was October. It got cleared up. Started in June. June, July, August, September, October. 5 months that was going on. And so I could not engage with my audience. And that was so hard. And I felt like I let everybody down because I am always like, hey, if you're going to take the time out of your day to come over here and engage on my post and boost my reach, then the least I can do is comment back to you because you took time out of your day. So I'm going to take time out of my day. And I just feel like that is, common courtesy. And it's so crazy to me that people will ask for people to engage on their stuff and then they have, there's no reciprocation in terms of them even liking your comment or writing back to you on a comment. It's like, I don't know, I guess just the audacity is the word. It just feels like rude. Like, sorry, I know you did this for me, but I don't have time for you. Like, that is the vibe it gets. And I hate that. I actually unfollowed a lot of people that were really poor at engaging. And that's why I don't follow that many people on Instagram because I really try to actively engage with the people that I follow. And when you get to like 900 people, it's hard to like check in on people's stuff and make sure you're seeing their stuff and commenting on their stuff. So yeah, and I just feel like if I'm someone with like I don't know how many followers I have over on IG, it's around 18K. If I can keep up with those comments and these comments, somebody with like 3,000, 5,000, 7,000 followers can keep up with their comments. So I just, that gives me a big ick. And it's like, I don't want to engage on your stuff anymore. Because like, it just doesn't feel very community driven, which maybe that's my problem. I joined Instagram when it was a time of like, we're a community. We actually, just want to chat about makeup and talk and support each other. And I feel like IG is so much not that anymore. So that was one that just like literally drives me insane. Like you have 3,000 followers, you're not a big famous influencer with 1 million followers and thousands of comments. Like, take a minute out of your day to respond to that comment. If you know what I mean? Like, that one just drives me freaking bonkers. The next one I think is just the big ick for me is larger creators in general. They are just so out of touch. Like, it actually like disgusts me. It blows my mind. I cannot believe how out of touch they are with like the common day person. And I feel like, especially in today's climate, like the amount of larger creators that have been silent is very loud and it's disturbing. But before, when I was writing this script, I was talking about essentially like, I just feel like a lot of them aren't relatable at all anymore. Whereas, like, when we used to have creators or influencers that had a little bit more of a following, they were still a little bit more relatable in terms of, we were doing tutorials, we were talking about like common day stuff, we were bringing in, I don't know, a more reasonable amount of makeup and trying things at like a slower pace. And now it is just overall overwhelming and so wasteful. And it's like, they don't have to review every single product. Someone else on the internet will review it. So you don't have to buy every single one. So to me, the waste is just insane. And it's like, I don't feel like they try, or not all of them anyway. I feel like some of them are actively like, removing themselves from PR lists that don't align with their values, or often don't send products that they like or enjoy. But I feel like a lot of creators still just get all of this stuff just for the hype of like the potential views that it carries. Which leads me to my next one, PR unboxings. Why are larger content creators still filming whole videos of PR unboxings? They are truly the most cringe and disgusting things I have ever seen. I feel like when the internet, like when YouTube started and PR unboxings first became a thing, it was like, oh, like this is like fun, this is cool, like I'm so happy for them. But then, like, as we've evolved and grown and seen what everything looks like, it's like, wow, that is so wasteful. And it's like, I get that they want stuff to review because that is their job, but it's just like, it gives the energy of, hey, look, like I received enough product for 40 people's lifetime, and I will throw away half of that. Before I will throw away half of it either after using it once, or getting money from the video, like, or it's because or it's just gonna rot in their collection and expire. Like, they're not going to use it. There's quite literally no way that they could. I cannot even watch those videos anymore, just because one, it's overwhelming, and two, most of it is going to be like wasted. And I mean, I don't know personally what all of these creators do with those large unboxings. Like, maybe some of them are donating some of the things or giving to friends or whatnot. But I find that hard to believe when they do like room tours and they have drawers floor to ceiling all around the whole room, that they're like not keeping a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? So that the PR unboxings to me are just like so outdated and cringy. And it's just like, they need to stop, because it's like one thing if you're unboxing 5 boxes, but I'm talking about the unboxings where they're unboxing like 50 to 100. And it is just so insane, like all of the waste, not only through packaging, but all of the waste that's going to be created from all of those expired products. And then just like, too, like brands need to be held accountable. Like, for, you don't need to send a creator a full shade range of complexion products, because they're not going to work for them. And what are they going to do with them? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, brands need to do better there. But yeah, PR unboxings are just like gross to me. And that, I'm just like, oh my God, all of that stuff. You're like, what do you even do with it? It's so overwhelming. Like, where would you even put it? Like, you need like a whole store to store it. It is freaking crazy. And then lastly, this one irks me. When creators do a mass declutter. And I'm thinking like, Laura Lee is the first one that comes to mind that did this the most recently that really just pissed me off. But I don't really watch. So some larger content creators I subscribe to and will watch videos here and there. Some I don't subscribe to, but you know how YouTube gives you the suggestions and I'll see a video come up and I'm like, "Oh, that looks interesting," so I want to watch it. Well, Laura Lee was one of those videos. And it was her like, took me 6 hours to clean my beauty room, declutter, and all this stuff. And she talked about in her message in the beginning, she said that, hey, like I'm going to be doing a mass declutter. Like I'm going to be getting rid of the majority of my makeup collection because she wanted to downsize. It was overwhelming. It was too much. And, like, not to mention her content as a whole on YouTube for the past 3 years has transitioned to more lifestyle. She hasn't done a lot of makeup on her channel in years. So I was like, you know what? Good for Laura Lee. And she was like, I'm, taking myself off a lot of PR lists because like I'm just not reviewing like I used to. And I was like, wow, I commend her. I wish more larger influencers, thought this way or did this. And I was just like, this, is like really refreshing to see her be really forthcoming about like, I'm not doing this as much anymore, so I don't want to create all the waste because I'm not going to use it. It's not like my full-time gig, all of this stuff. It was very like, good for you, girl. Good for you. And then, I don't even think it was a month later, she posted a YouTube video, huge Sephora haul. She went to Sephora and spent thousands of dollars on new makeup. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I can, and she's not the only creator that's done this, right? I'm thinking of a few other now that I'm getting on this tangent. But I just was so disgusted. I was like, so you're really actually not worried about waste. You're not worried about consuming less. You fed us a line of bullshit to get views and comments and engagement and encouragement. And then you turned around and you bought a ton of new makeup. I'm just like flabbergasted. And I don't even know why I am. Like, shouldn't even be surprised. And then 2 to 3 weeks later, she's posting another one of those huge PR unboxings and with hundreds of boxes. And I'm like, why are you even still accepting this amount of PR from these brands when you actively say like, you're not reviewing makeup as much, you don't do as much makeup on your channel, you don't use it, it's wasteful, like you've acknowledged all of this, but you're still accepting it. And I know she does giveaways and stuff or whatever, but like how about you just don't accept it? Like I don't know. So to me, like that really drives me nuts when it's like, I really respect when someone is like, "Oh shit, like my consumption has gotten out of control. I need to rein it back. Like so much of this is going to expire, so I'm going to declutter it so I can get it to a new home and I won't create that waste." But then with that, you need to follow up with better purchasing habits, not continue to spend thousands of dollars on new makeup because then you're just continuing the hamster wheel. So that just drives me freaking insane. It just was clear to me that that video was just like full of lies and for views, which again is why I just don't really watch a lot of larger content creators because the majority of them are just liars. They're liars. Whether you're catching them in a big lie or a little lie, they're liars. And it's just, I don't know. It is so insane to me to see like the way that the world of the internet has gone and is going. It's, people just sell their soul just to sell you something and make a couple bucks. And that's like what I feel like, especially on some other apps, it's heavily like that. But even, over here on YouTube, it's all about the views and the clicks and stuff. And I don't know. I, yeah, I, it just like promotes, I feel like this unattainable measure, like people think that they can also do that and will overspend to try to do that when realistically, like it's not obtainable unless you're at that level where you're making so much money and getting so much for free that you could realistically like have that much product and pay to have so much product stored. But at the end of the day, it's just like that drives me nuts. Like when I'm like, oh, they're turning, a new leaf and yada yada, good for you, just for them to be like, huh, just kidding. I'm buying everything still. Yeah, that I was just like, that pissed me off. I blocked her channel after that. I was so mad. I know she doesn't care, but but gosh, can you guys tell? I keep doing this because I feel like I have like a hair or something on my face and it keeps like it's like itchy. But I can't find it. I don't know where it is. Driving me insane. But anyways, I hope all of this like made sense and is clear. I made like this whole outline, but like I didn't follow it. I jumped all around and I didn't even really look at all the talking points in it. Because I don't know, it's just like hard to talk and also look down at this, you know what I'm saying? Like you can tell like very easily when I'm doing it. But yeah, let me know some of your big creator icks in the comments. I want to laugh. I desperately want to laugh, you guys. Times are tough and I want to laugh. So share ones you agree with me, share ones that I didn't share. I don't know. I just want to laugh together about this stuff that like drives us nuts, but at the end of the day, like doesn't really matter. Like there's so much else going on in the world, but like I just want to focus on this and be a hater and laugh about it. So let me know in the comments. Hit the thumbs up before you go, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye.